Can you dig straight down in Minecraft? Well, yeah, it's actually pretty easy. But the real question is, should you? Hey, I'm James. Recently, my friends and I started a Minecraft world together. Normally, I only play with them when they're online, but today something hit me. See, I used to get so much crap for digging straight down in a 1x1 hole, despite that 50% of the time it worked every time. Over time, I caved to peer pressure and switched to the classic safe 1x2, but a part of me still misses the chaos of the old days. The risk, the spicy earth juice waiting below, the thrill of a giant cave, and more fiery failure. So I decided to finally put it to the test. Scientifically, of course. The plan: 10 completely random dig straight down attempts in 1x1 holes with very little logic, planning, or safety. At least I'm pretty sure that's how science works. Attempt number 1. I put on my best armor, grabbed my best tools, and actually, no, I'm not that dumb. I dumped all my good gear in a chest, made some dirt cheap stone tools, stole some of our extremely limited food, and set off on my quest to prove something to absolutely no one. I felt oddly hopeful about the first dig, like a brave little adventurer finally venturing out alone, free from the watchful eyes of friends or family, a fresh start, a new journey. And then karma kicked in pretty quickly. Somewhere deep down past the layers of dirt and self-confidence, I hit water. And because I was committed, like scientifically committed, I just kept digging. Spoiler, I drowned. But I wasn't gonna let a little thing like death ruin the experiment, so I respawned, shook off the shame, slapped together some new tools, and set off once again. Attempt number 2. For this next dig site, I headed to the beach we so cleverly named Turtle Beach. I can't remember why exactly. Yeah, right. I picked a random spot, took a deep breath, and began my hopeful descent once again. And this one actually went well. No caves, no lava, no surprise parties, just one clean, slightly anxiety-filled tunnel straight down. I hit bedrock, I lived, so success, I think. But that's when I realized something important. I had no plan for getting back out. Turns out when you expect to die every time, you don't really think about the return trip. So I did what any unprepared scientist would do, and I built my way back up, block by painful block. Attempt number 3. Undeterred, I set off to dig hole number 3. Did I go far? No, not really. Like one chunk over, maybe 2. This attempt went surprisingly well, a little too well in fact, as you're about to see. I landed right next to lava, but no bedrock yet, so I pressed on. A few blocks later, bedrock. Glorious in all its unbreakable glory. Here's the thing. I wasn't about to suffer through another climb, not with lava practically begging for a hug a few blocks away, so I built up and took the express exit out. With a renewed vigor and suspicious burn marks on my soul, I crafted more terrible tools and once again set out on my journey. Attempt number 4. For reasons I still can't explain, I stole a boat. I wasn't planning to show the trip. I could have just swam, but nope, now I have a boat. Anyway, my new aquatic vehicle took me a bit further than I expected, where I found another beach. Seemed peaceful, seemed safe, so I started dig number 4. And almost immediately, the universe said no. I broke into an underground water pocket and, surprise, started drowning. But I was committed, so I kept digging, hoping to find something. I just drowned. Respawned, new tools, and set off again. Attempt number 5. For reasons unknown even to me, I returned to the site of my last failure, mostly to retrieve the boat, which I then immediately didn't use. I just wandered off on foot like none of that ever happened. Eventually, I found a nice little area with some happy-looking bees, and for some reason, I thought bees means safe. And then I saw a giant pit of lava, and that thought immediately left my head. I decided to take a few cautious steps away, spotted a nice little village in the distance, and figured, yeah, this is the one. Time for dig number 5. Sadly, this one didn't take very long to turn ugly. I hit the edge of a lava flow like a moth to the flame. A very unlucky, very flammable moth. Respawn, craft, repeat. Attempt number 6. For this one, I decided to go in a completely different direction and ended up finding myself in a spruce forest. While wandering around, I ended up finding a village that we've never actually been to before, which is a surprise, but hey, new ground, fresh chaos. And this looked like a perfect place to start a dig. I hoped, it's a village, it's got to have something interesting underneath it, maybe. I don't think that's how it actually works, but you never know. After about a minute of digging, I could not believe what I found. A freaking trial chamber. Of all the places I could have dug straight down, I landed perfectly in one. In a safe place, within the trial chamber no less. Finally, randomly digging straight down was paying off. And after the initial shock wore off, I remembered I actually had a mission, so I kept digging. And eventually, I hit bedrock. All in all, this was a really good success. I climbed my way back out, and then unfortunately spent the next 20 minutes completely lost trying to escape the chamber, so we're skipping that part. Attempt number 7. Once I finally escaped the dungeon, I kept heading in the same direction, picked another random spot, and started digging. In my defense, I've only recently started playing again, and I have never seen this type of block before, or this type of cave. Seriously, look at this cave. This is amazing. I don't even know what to call this. Spiky cave? I mean, it's a failure, but it's still pretty cool. Blah blah, respawn, blah blah, craft, blah blah, set out again. Attempt number 8. I knew I was getting close to the end now, and for attempt number 8 I wanted to branch out a bit. So I headed into a snow biome because nothing says safe digging conditions like frozen Deathland. Almost immediately I had a close call with a zombie. Then somehow, don't ask me how, I ended up beating a skeleton to death with a shovel, trapped in a 1x1 hole, and only had 1 heart left. Clearly the only logical next move in the name of science was to dig straight down. So with 1 heart and a dream, I mined like my life depended on it. And then, right into a lake of freaking lava. Look at this thing, it's massive, it's majestic. It's my grave now, but it's lava. Respawn, recraft, retravel, regret. Attempt number 9. For the penultimate attempt, I tried to find a desert, just a nice classic sand-filled biome, that's all I wanted, but after 20 minutes of wandering through the middle of butt-ass nowhere, I gave up and settled for a sad little sand dune, and it went exactly how you'd expect. Underwater hole, drowned, moving on. Attempt number 10. Okay, last try. Attempt number 10. This was it, the final, the dream. I thought, what if I found an ancient city? What if I ended this journey with glory? So I traveled really far. I put on armor, I brought food. I was serious this time. I picked a spot, I dug down, and then I landed on this tiny island in a sea of gravity around me. And down below, I saw Skulk. I could not believe it. Skulk. is known for being in ancient cities. That's usually where it is. It's not guaranteed, but it's a pretty big hope. All I had to do was dig down. This could finally be it. So I kept going. I dug down the pillar, my heart pounding, my dreams intact once again. A few blocks over and I'd have been dead, but right here, this could be it. After all the mockery, all the deaths, all the times they told me not to dig straight down, finally, I was going to win. So yeah, turns out digging straight down in a 1x1 block, not a great idea. Who knew, right? Apparently not me. But hey, the more you know, the fewer fiery deaths you have in this weird angular world we call home. For now, I'm heading back to building stuff that doesn't try to kill me every 30 seconds. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.